So, hi everyone, welcome to the Soul Mastery Retreat. Today I'm going to introduce you to an extraordinary lady, but before we dive in, I want to take a moment to center you in this moment with us right now. And we do so by closing your eyes. So, close your eyes for a moment, just close your eyes. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. Relax your face, relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Take another nice deep breath in through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. Relax your arms, your hands, relax your belly. Take another last deep breath in through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. Relax your legs, relax your feet. And then just feel your feet connected with the earth and imagine, see or think a radiant crystal in the inside of the earth, radiating its bright white diamond light into your experience. And then connect with your heart space and put both of your hands on your heart space. And then imagine, see or think that you have this radiant bright white light crystal radiating its light inside of your heart space, radiating it fully towards the front. Allow it to radiate as much as what feels aligned to you. Allow it to radiate all the way to the left, all the way to your back. Allow it to radiate all the way to your right, all the way down to the earth. And then just notice that your diamond crystal is connected to the diamond crystal of the earth. And then allow it to radiate all the way up to the sky. Allow it to radiate as fast as you desire. And from this place, again, connect with your heart center. And then set an intention for this session. So what do you want to awaken to? What do you want to transform, ignite, or maybe release? And take a moment to center that in your heart space and breathe into that. And then when you're ready, you can take a nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Wiggle your feet a little and open your eyes when you're ready. Open your eyes. So welcome back, everyone. I am truly excited to introduce you to this extraordinary lady, Lisa Barnett. Welcome. So great to have you here.
Thank you. I am really excited to be with you.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you're here. So can you start with introducing yourself a little to the audience so they know who you are and what it is you do on this planet?
Yes, I would love to. So I am an international best-selling author of 2 books about the Akashic Records. One is The Infinite Wisdom of the Akashic Records, and the second one is From Questioning to Knowing with 73 Healing Prayers to Transform Your Life. I am the founder of Akashic Knowing School of Wisdom, and I have been teaching students all over the world for the last 15, 20, 25 years, just a variety of things, but really how to access their soul guidance and wisdom through the Akashic Records. And so I know we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through the day. But my great soul purpose is to help you to heal and release the old energy that stops you from aligning to your soul plan and purpose and truly living the life that your soul and your heart desire. So we'll get to do a little bit of healing work around that today also.
I'm super excited because I feel that is so aligned, one, with I teach, but also what is happening on the planet. So before we dive into the cleaning and clearing, healing, can you share a little bit more for people who don't know, what is it? What are they, the Akasha, and how does it work?
Right. So the Akashic Records are the recording of your soul's journey throughout time. When you first originated from Source and decided to become an individuated soul and take this amazing journey, your soul started recording everything you have ever been or done in the field of truly divine source, in the quantum field and information arm of source. And so that information about your soul's journey is recorded and accessible to you. And we also write a soul plan before we come into a body each lifetime. So every time you come, you say, I want to bring some special gifts and talents back to humanity. I want to have relationships with people to support me that I can support. And we write soul contracts with these souls. We also have old patterns of learning that we'd like to complete, and we often call that karma. So we have karmic patterns, we have old emotional pain that often blocks us from moving forward with ease. And all of these aspects of who we have been through other lifetimes show up in our soul plan to learn and grow. So we come to bring our gifts and talents, we come to learn as a soul, we come to align with the truth of who we really are as unique divine souls. And when you can access that information in your Akashic record, it makes life a ton easier.
So how do you access that? Because obviously that is the question, because it sounds so kind of simple and clear and planned. So it sounds like, I don't know, I want to say Eureka in Dutch, but it's like, so share more about that.
So many years ago, the Akashic record keepers, so not only do you have your own soul's library, your soul also has a whole group of librarians that are here to support you. And we call them record keepers. I sometimes refer to them the Akashic masters or lords, because there is a hierarchy in this group of divine helpers, light beings. Anyway, so they're here to support you in doing that. So many years ago, they asked me to help bring this information back to humanity. And they said, we'll give you a simple process that you can teach. And they gave me a 5-step wisdom prayer system, which I teach people all over the world. And I have an upcoming online workshop we'll talk a little more about. And I teach people in a 6-week program the 5-step wisdom prayer system. So it's very simple. It's actually relatively kind of logical. You don't have to meditate for hours on end to get into your records. They're vibrational keys that in the form of a sacred prayer. And so it's very simple to kind of move from this energy up into the Akashic field. And we'll even do a process together today where I'll take you into the records with me and we'll do some healing, because it's fun to start to feel that energy and really how accessible it is.
And so what do you mean? I'm truly excited. I can't wait. So I was like, oh, that sounds good. 6 weeks. I mean, it's doable. But anyway, before we go into all of that. So what do you mean with energy keys? Can you give an example of that?
Well, if you just imagine that we have the vibration or the, kind of the energy that we normally hold, and most people on the planet are at a relatively low vibration still. And that is kind of an energy of 200 or below. And we know that 500 is love, 700 is really where we start to wake up. And so between 700 and 1,000 is really awakening. It's a process. It's still not even a place, even when we talk about awakening. But what these vibrational keys do in the form of a sacred prayer is it kind of wraps you in this energy and raises your vibration so you can easily connect the source energy to the Akashic field, to this vibration where you can literally have a conversation with your own record keepers and learn very specific information for yourself when you ask specific questions.
And just to be clear, like I'm a channel, so I'm like, okay, I probably can do that. But what if people are not? Share about that. Can they do it as easily?
You know, this is what the record keepers have said to me, is that it is everyone's birthright. And so the answer is basically yes. Now, what I tend to start to do is to help people in my course by opening our clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, realigning, clearing and opening and aligning our clairs so that it becomes easier. But also when I teach you to do this work, not only do you have a variety of access prayers, because we are unique, we're all different types of star seeds, and so with different access prayers, it makes it easier for different people to find the key that works the best for them. So there's a variety of keys, so you can try on a couple, you know, see which one works in your door, right? And then I really teach you to create this beautiful column of light and energy. And then we write, we journal, we ask specific questions, and we get out of our mind, we get out of our head, we get out of our own way, and we start to let the information flow to and through us by writing, by journaling. And just like, as you know, as a channel, we all have to find some way to let that information come through and just allow it to flow without judging it in that moment.
That's it.
Right? And this is the thing I find is the biggest challenge for most students is to stop judging and just to write it down. And then when we go back and we start to read the information we've written, we think, wow, I wouldn't ever have thought that, or I didn't know that, or I don't speak to myself that way. And we feel the unconditional love that is coming from this pure divine source energy.
I love that. I mean, I remember when I was in my early 20s, I started writing questions when it was quiet, and I would get these beautiful, like God-like sentences. I mean, I knew they weren't mine, and I wasn't a channel by birth. I kind of was, but in a different way, not in the sense of hearing. And I know by started writing things down and just opening up and then allowing it, like there's just like kind of shutting the mind down and just allowing it and not like doubting it or second guessing it. Then it just, and I believe like you that anyone can do that. I always say I'm a channel, but you can do it too. I mean, I'm not like extraordinary. I'm obviously we're unique, but everyone can do that as long as you find that quiet space in you. So now, how do you release, and is it like easy, or like when you, for example, find, okay, this is a part like karma, why, for example, my money or my relationships don't flow. So how do you release that? Because now you have the answer, and how do you release that then?
Right. Well, I mean, of course, it's all a process that I teach in over time, but basically, the gift is that once you can move into this pure source energy of your Akashic field and you start to have this conversation with your record keepers, with your beings of light, and with your soul, then they can help you. So I find that part of it is kind of acknowledging, understanding. That immediately will help to release and let go old energy. And then our record keepers can help us to clear old contracts that are stuck outside of time. We can clear, I go on to teach about clearing past life pain and trauma and past life vows and contracts that often block us and keep us stuck in old emotional pain and trauma. And so there's many, many processes and healing tools that I teach in my workshops.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, because obviously we can't dive into everything, but it gets to be easy, right? It's not like, it's a process, but it's not necessarily like a process in which you have to suffer, right?
Right.
But
Right.
it's strange because sometimes I'm like listening to people about healing and it seems they never stop healing, but it seems like this hard work. And I'm like, but I always say healing shouldn't be hard. Healing can be easy. I mean, it's new, it's like discovery, all of that, but I
Right.
don't believe it should be hard. What do you think about that?
I completely agree. And that's, again, one of the reasons I love the Akashic Records, is because you're literally moving into a higher vibration where it's easy to acknowledge and dissipate and release old energy. And it really can be absolutely that easy, with the help of these beautiful beings of light that are here to help and support you through your whole life, and to help you to understand what that old karmic pattern is, and to even see that you've already worked through it. So it's time to let that go. And so often it's that simple. You know, you can acknowledge that pattern and kind of see it, and they just kind of uplift it and bring it to completion for us.
And so what can people, like, not only after your course, but also by like accessing the Akashic Records, what can they expect to change in their lives?
Mm. Oh, to me, it's really very big, because it's very much about changing your view of life. So to me, it often seems like before, like in the beginning, before I started accessing the records, I was kind of a regular muggle. I mean, I was born very awake, so I don't know that I was ever that normal. But many of us, you know, see things, say, from street level. And then imagine that you're being shot up to the moon in a rocket, and all of a sudden the world looks so different. We see this huge view of everything. We see a huge timeline of past, present, future, this great expanse of the truth of who you are and have always been as an infinite soul. And so changing our view really changes the way we think, the way we see everything. It becomes infinite instead of finite. We see that we have new choices and new abilities, and the possibility to choose again, something we maybe never even thought about. And one of the great gifts I find is that when we can remember through our Akashic Records the truth of who we've been for maybe hundreds of different lives, as healers, as light workers, as spiritual beings, as, you know, doing amazing authors and parents, and all the amazing things that we've done, inventors in this planet and other planets too. All of a sudden, we're not just these silly little humans. We are these wise and infinite souls, and it completely changes the way we see the world.
I love that. I fully agree with you. And I was thinking, like, we are like powerful beings of light. We are really. And it's interesting because I think as the energy is shifting, we become even more aware of all of that. And so before we said, okay, so what are we going to do in this session? And because I would love to dive into that. So will you like share more? Because we talked about entering 2020, shifting energy, all that kind of stuff, more soul aligned life. So let's start.
Okay, I would love to. So what I would like to do is to bring everyone into the Akashic Records with me. So I will do kind of a brief aligning and calling in of our record keepers. And so we can just sit back again, close your eyes for a moment. I like to have our feet flat on the ground, also staying kind of grounded, letting our body feel safe and present as we do this expansive work today. So it's very helpful, I think, for the body to feel grounded when we do these different kinds of processes. So just with your feet on the ground, just dropping back into your chair. We breathe into our heart and we let our heart open just a little wider. And we ask the divine lords of unconditional love to help us center fully in this moment as we create this sacred space. Please wrap us in your love and protection and allow us to travel to the highest realms of the akasha available to us today. Please help as we lay our multidimensional hearts open to divine love and release all resistance. Lords of the Akashic Record, please guide us to the deepest truth we can access now. Support us in healing and releasing that which no longer serves on our true path. We give great thanks for your divine love and support on this journey today. And just letting yourself breathe in. I often see a beautiful swirly, silvery blue column of light all around us. And I see that encompassing all the people all around the planet who are listening today. It almost looks like we're in a big stadium all together with this beautiful silvery blue column of light. And this connects us from our dear Mother Earth, all around our bodies, up into our Akashic records, connecting us to divine source and the beautiful Akashic beings of light that are here to help and support us today. And so I just ask our record keepers to help us to uplift and bring to completion any old soul contracts or group contracts that are stopping us or holding us back from aligning to our highest soul path and purpose as we go forward into 2020. And so for me, that looks like more kind of swirling energy. There's some kind of a little bit of a darker, almost brown or gray kind of swirling energy that's being lifted out of our bodies, out of our energy field, really bringing that back to source to be recycled for the highest good, because it's not serving you any longer. It's an old energy that was created in a level of fear in the past. So we bring all of that to completion. And then the record keepers are suggesting we clear a program or a pattern that all of us have. It's an old program that we all have, definitely from this life, but we also have it from other lifetimes. This program is very old. It's thousands and thousands of years old, and it really is connected to keeping us asleep. And so it's so important for us all to claim right now, I am awake. I am aligned to my soul plan, to my soul path, and my soul purpose. As I go forward into this next 10 years, into 2020 and beyond, creating the life that my soul and my heart desire. So just feel that energy, that claiming, that intention, as it pulls you into a clearer alignment with your soul right now. And the record keepers are dismantling this old program. It looks kind of like a octahedron, kind of almost like a 8-sided ball. And we all seem to have them around us. Some people's are a little bit stronger, some are a little vaguer, but they basically dismantle that like it's a old you know, to me, it's like a cage. It looks almost like a metal cage around us. And so they take all the pieces apart and dismantle that, and it just falls to the ground and dissipates. It really kind of gets just recycled back into Earth, into Gaia, for the highest good of all concerned. So just letting that old program go. This is one of the great activations that is so important for us to do, is to let these old patterns and programs go, so that we truly can be the creator beings that we are. Each and every one of you have come to be a creator being, not only to manifest, but to create the life that your soul desires, bringing forward your gifts and your talents and your wisdom that you have come to share with humanity over the next 10 years and beyond. So take a couple of nice deep breaths and just let all of that old energy dissipate. And we ask the Akashic beings of light to fill each and every one of us with the highest soul level energy, with the highest Akashic record wisdom and energy that each of us can hold right now, today, now that we've released some of those old contracts and old programs and patterns. So just let that come in. It also comes in kind of as it's a beautiful kind of aqua liquidy, beautiful light. It's filled with golden sparkles, filling us with the highest energy that we can hold right now. All the way down into our feet, filling our whole body and our whole auric field with this beautiful high vibrational Akashic energy, light, and wisdom. Oh, good. So just, we let that integrate. I like to put a nice time release bubble around everyone, letting that integrate for the next 24 hours with ease and grace. Oh, good. And just coming back and opening your eyes when you're ready.
That was good. And what happened, I actually saw it like the cage. I thought it was a spider, because I had this thing above me with these 8 like kind of claws almost like, and then said it's like a cage. I'm like, oh, this is freaky. I actually I could see it. It was interesting, and it's just like as if, I mean, maybe like when my children watch like these little movies, you can see it just dissolve, like shoo. It was just like that, like as if it was like transforming into sand and just whoosh, it was just gone. So what is that thing? Because I could actually see it very clearly. Maybe not everyone can, but I could.
Right. That literally is an energy program that has been built into our field. This is what we talk about, is kind of part of what has been part of this matrix that has kept us stuck in these patterns. And we have, probably most of us have many, maybe even 100 of them throughout our lifetime. People program us to be good girls and boys. People program us to be helpers, to take care of them, to do what we want them, you know, what they want us to do. So our parents, society, our teachers, sometimes our mates and our partners even program us to be the way they want us to be, which is not often in alignment with your soul and your soul's purpose and plan. So we want to really just break them all apart, just dissipate them, recycle them for the highest good, because it's all energy, right? So all energy gets recycled for the highest good when we can see it and release it, break it apart, and just let it get recycled. So you actually reclaim more energy of you. And so often we get a big energy boost from getting rid of these old programs, because it's kept your energy in that cage.
Yeah.
And you keep bumping into it when people say, you know, I'd like to start a new business, but I'm afraid to, or I can't seem to, I don't know what's stopping me. And it's these sorts of programs and patterns that act like cages around our body, and we can't get past it.
Yeah.
So I teach you how to do that in your Akashic Records too, so you can deprogram yourself.
So can you share more about that? Because I think it's very exciting what you're offering, and we're going to start soon, right? Oh, so even
Yes.
during this, we're going to start, or you are going to start. So can you share more about that?
Absolutely. So it is a 6-week online workshop. It starts on January 22nd. It will be on instant teleseminar, which means that you can anywhere in the world access through your computer. And it's 2 hours each week. And it's from, it starts at noon in California, which I believe is 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, depending on where you are in Europe. It's the morning in kind of Australia, Southeast Asia. And so, so I've tried to make it so it works pretty well all around the world. And of course, there's replays. If you miss one, you can go back. I have slideshows. Sometimes people say, you know, I speak English, but it's not my first language. And I say, I have slides that go with it. There's a 40-page manual that you receive so you can read along. You could look at the slides. You could watch it 2 or 3 times if that makes it easier for you. And there's exercises and processes, as well as 3 vibrational keys, which are access prayers. I teach you 7 healing prayers to help you, to make it easier for you to access your records. We do quite a few different, just short, like 10-minute guided visualizations to call back your energy and to help you be more grounded, to create good boundaries so that you know the difference between you and someone else, because that makes it challenging to access your own soul wisdom if you can't differentiate between you and others, right? So many different tools and pieces I teach you in this 12-hour workshop, as well as you mentioned a little earlier, it's like turning off our logical mind. I actually teach you how to turn off your logical, analytical mind so that you can get out of your own way and start to really receive and download more information. So it starts January 22nd, online, replays, a full manual. You have access to email me if you have questions, but we do quite a few. We usually do 2 Q&As every week so that you can share and you can ask about the experience you're having, and is this really in my records, or this is what I'm experiencing. And so I'm really there with you, right? This is very live, not pre-recorded.
So for the Dutch people, like, I'm going to translate a little because I know many of them will not understand, because I didn't. Q&A means you get to answer your questions like 2 times a week, you said? Like, so you're very much, or 2 times in the 6 weeks?
2 times in each, no, 2 times in each 2-hour session.
Okay, yeah.
I will stop and say, if you have questions, write in, and I'll answer your questions while we're together for 2 hours doing the process. I want people to say, what about this? Or this is what I'm getting, or share their experience or ask their questions. So I like to try and make it very interactive.
Yeah. So just, because sometimes it's, so what I love about this, thinking back about me and how I awakened to my potential, my gifts, all of that, you just need some foundational steps in order to get that connection. And it isn't hard, you just need to know how. And I love how you will teach people actually how. So if you're ready to access all of your potential, all of your like all of your soul basically, to allow it in, this is an extraordinary opportunity. So I'm like all excited about this. So thank you so much for this amazing offer. Thank you.
My pleasure. I am so excited. The record keepers asked me many, many years ago, they said, please help us to bring this wisdom back to humanity, because it's everyone's birthright and it will make life easier. And so I'm always thrilled. It makes life easier.
It does. If you have the connection, there's so like the doubt, all of that, you will know. You will know things, because if you can access, you will know. And then obviously the second step is trusting and aligning with that. But I love this. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the session, your great offer. I'm really excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure to be with you.
So thank you so much. And I want to thank the audience as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you are at least taking a look at the offer, and otherwise just dive in. I mean, it can only get better from this point on, right? To get access to all of that. I'm super excited for you. So, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Much love, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Bye.